Okay, so everybody, thank you for joining. This is officially our first meetup for TradeBot. We want to let me just cover the agenda real quick. We're going to have a presentation today by Davonta. And Davonta, I've known him for a few years now. This guy is like the serial entrepreneur. Like he has multiple businesses. He has extensive experience in gathering people for events. So he has a lot of he's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations as far as what's worked and what hasn't worked. So he will be presenting to us, and we can get some of his feedback. And then we're going to open the floor for discussion so that we can all, pitch our own ideas on what we think would be best as far as marketing the coin itself. And then finally, we'll open the floor to questions and answer sessions where you guys can ask any question, and I'll try to answer it, or the team in general can try to answer it. And let's see here. So first, before we get started, I just want to state that TradeBot is a community coin. So what does that mean? That means that the contracts have been renounced. That means we can't make any more code changes to the TradeBot contract. The coin is done. It's set in stone. Nobody can modify it. We did that on purpose. We wanted to ensure that the contract is secure and that nobody can hack it, or that a dev can't later change the code through its lifetime. So that is set in stone. And another thing is the liquidity pool. So whenever you can anybody can put money into a liquidity pool. Anybody can put, like, our liquidity pool is made up of Solana and TradeBot. And the liquidity pool is basically a vending machine that allows people to buy and sell the TradeBot token. um, the money that we put in, so whenever you put money in there, you get a receipt from the vending machine, and it's called an LP token. The LP token basically allows you to then go back and retrieve the money from the vending machine. Like, it allows you to withdraw the money from it. We burn those. So there we have no access. Like, I personally do not have any access to that money in the vending machine. So it is locked there forever. And so when I say it's a community coin, it's a community coin. Like, there are certain, like, yes, I control like the social media accounts, but as far as the token is concerned, that token belongs to everybody now. It belongs to the community. There is no ownership to it. So that being said, um, because it is a community coin, I'm going to we basically, the community has to take ownership of it. Okay, and so it's not my baby. Uh, I'm a Christian conservative, so TradeBot, just because I'm Christian conservative doesn't mean that TradeBot is Christian conservative. TradeBot is whatever the community makes it. I want to present to you guys Davonta, who is a friend of mine. I've known him for a few years. He is a serial entrepreneur. Multi Has many businesses. One of them is a trunking company. Another one is a coding camp, and so he's used that experience, and for he has marketed these companies through various events, gatherings, and so he's going to be able to provide us some insight on that. And he's also come up with a roadmap for us as far as how we can engage the community. So without further ado, Davonta, please begin.
All right, so Um, the mission statement is to provide innovative and engaging ways to integrate our meme coin, which is TradeBot, into everyday transactions and events, fostering a vibrant community of users and businesses. So, what does that mean? So, basically, we want, in order for us to get mass adoption of TradeBot, we want to incentivize people to use TradeBot. And the way that I see that is for us to have our own utility that is disassociated from TradeBot. Not saying that this is what TradeBot is about, but we have some type of incentive for people to use TradeBot. Like we have our own events, right? We're just a group of collective that have our own events, but instead of us accepting US dollars, we're accepting TradeBot. Or, for instance, whenever people are inside of our events, we have booths where they could have a discount on the next event if they buy TradeBot. Just certain things like that, things to incentivize people to actually use the coin. All right, could you go to the next slide?
Yep.
All right, so the target audience. Our target audience would be small businesses seeking for digital transformation, cryptocurrency enthusiasts, event goers, and young tech savvy social media users. So, the main way that I can see how we can get mass adoption pretty quickly is through small business owners and through event goers. I think that the cryptocurrency enthusiasts and the social media users that will come at a later time once we built up a good reputation. But for the short term, I think that if we partner with small businesses and we also host events, then we can get mass adoption pretty quickly. All right, let's go to the next slide. So, so marketing strategy. So I have small business mobile apps. So if you see here, I have the TradeBot logo and the Torque logo. So my proposal is that um, my company, which is called a Torque, partners with TradeBot, and we come up with a team of developers. And so what I do at a Torque is that I create mobile apps for small businesses. And so the way that I see that we can pitch TradeBot to small businesses is that, say, for instance, if we go up to a small e-commerce company, or let's say a restaurant, right, a local restaurant, and we tell them, hey, we can we can create this mobile app for you for your business and allow you to have like a digital transformation for your company. But in exchange, and we'll do this for free, but in exchange, 1% of every sale, or it could be 2%, we can come up with numbers, of every sale that's made on our platform, that money is then taken and where it just pretty much say that that's a fee. But then we'll also tell them is that this is a fee, but this fee may also be able to turn into investment for you. Because with that 2%, we're not just going to take it and stuff it in our pocket. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that 2% and we're going to put it into our trade bot, create you an account, and put it into our trade bot. And so for every transaction that you make, 2% of that is going into a system where you could potentially make money. It's not a guarantee that you make money. So the 2% was going to be a charge either way. But unlike the 3% that you're going to get charged from like payment gateways and other other companies that may charge you to develop some type of application for them, that money is lost. But at least with this, you may have a potential to grow your money that you're spending, and so it's a symbiotic relationship. We're able to grow TradeBot, and they're able to not only have a digital transformation with their company, but they can also profit on the success of TradeBot as well. And then for social events, I think that if we really want to get our social media to really be popping and to be fun, it should be some type of social events. I think things like Comic Cons, even if it starts off small, like an event with 20 people dressed up in cool costumes and really taking it serious, and photos and like promo videos for it can go a long way on social media, especially depending on how you market it. Same thing with gaming events. And so I have experience in doing things like this with events, and I kind of have trial and error as far as like knowing like how much money to spend and how much is too much, and knowing when to scale an event and not scaling too soon, because then you can lose a lot of money. Because if you're going off of ticket sales, you're going to have to rent out the venue before you can actually launch the event. And if you don't sell enough tickets, you can potentially come up with a loss. So you want to make sure that whatever venue that you host at, you want to make sure that the demand is way over what the price of the venue is. And so that was one of my mistakes, is that I took a gamble on betting that I could sell enough tickets, but then, when it's time to have the event, you don't sell enough, and now you're at a loss. And then social media marketing. I think Instagram is probably one of the better tools to use because you're able to actually see. And
Hmm.
Twitter will come second. I think after you already have a established brand, then people will start following your Twitter. But with social media, I think skits are always good. You always want something that's trendy. You want to always do some skits based on like the latest trends. You want to do stuff that's funny that people are going to share, something that's motivational that people will save for later, or something that's cool where people just want to generally just share it, and you'll have organic growth on your social media platform as long as people think your page is cool. And so it doesn't need to be about, oh, we're posting about crypto, crypto, crypto. It's like, no, we're posting about other things, and this is our brand. It doesn't necessarily have to be on topic, but we need to have a we need to stay within the bounds of what we're gonna say the page is. So if the page is comedy, or if the page is events, or if the page is fun, or if the page is lifestyle, whatever it is, we kind of stick to that. And then we utilize Facebook's boosting feature to where you can pay to push out your post to a certain target audience. So, for instance, for $20, you maybe be able to reach like 200 people in a certain state that has certain interests, and that's the real good way, and a quick way where you can get that outreach out on social media. And then the way that social media works, the page is. So if the page is comedy, or if the page is events, or if the page is fun, or if the page is lifestyle, whatever it is, we kind of stick to that. And then we utilize Facebook's boosting feature to where you can pay to push out your post to a certain target audience. So, for instance, for $20, you maybe be able to reach like 200 people in a certain state that has certain interests, and that's the real good way, and a quick way where you can get that outreach out on social media. And then the way that social media works, the more followers you have, the easier it is for someone else to click and follow the page. But people will typically not like a post or not follow a page if the numbers are low. So it's a numbers game.
Gotcha.
On social media, people are sheep. They only follow what the herd is doing.
Gotcha.
Um, and then you
Uh,
can go to the, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. No, I'm. This is really cool. I think we're gonna have a lot to discuss when this is done.
Okay, I think this is the last one with potential risk. Okay, so the risk with that I see so far with TradeBot, and these are just some of them. So launching unsuccessful events, that is definitely a risk, because whenever you're going and you're having some type of event and you're putting your name on it, if it's boring, if it's whack, people don't want to go, then the next time you throw an event, those same people, you probably already lost them as attendees. So you want to make sure that you do things small and gradual, and that you learn from your mistakes from your previous events.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing is, um, uh, I understand that TradeBot is already set in stone as far as the contract, but
Yes.
from a consumer perspective, if I'm just like a casual and I'm not really into crypto like that, I'm going to go on what's trending and what has like gradual growth, and what do I see that people are um, pretty much navigating to. And so that now that TradeBot is already live, I think that the best course of action is that TradeBot has continual growth going forward. Because right now, when it first went live on Coinbase, there was a big spike, and now
Coin
we've
market cap.
seen yeah, Coin Market Cap. Sorry, there was a big spike, and now we've seen that there was a dip,
Yeah,
but that's fine. That's fine. That's normal. But how we bounce back from that dip will determine the likelihood of success that TradeBot can have. So if people that are on CoinMarketCap see that okay, it's bouncing back good and people are investing their money, there's good trade volume, then it's going to just encourage them to do it because, like I said, people are sheep, and so they gotta see that trend and other people doing it for them to have the confidence to do it themselves.
yeah,
And so that's one of the risks as well. And then the community not buying in. So the only way that this works is we need more workers, right? It's like um, I could build a house by myself, but if I have 10 other people working with me laying bricks down, then it's we can get to our destination that much faster in our goal. And so the more the more that the community buys in, the better we will all be. And it's only like to benefit yourself. Even if you're thinking from a selfish perspective, your mindset should be, I want to pitch in because the more money that TradeBot makes, the more money I'm going to make. And
yeah,
everyone has their own financial plans of like, okay, I want to make 100x of my initial investment and then I'm out, or whatever it is, and then I'm out. And that's fine. But the only way that you're going to get there is if you put in. Because if you don't put in, now you're just pretty much just gambling your money away. Like with actually participating, you have a direct um, correlation of the success of your investment. So that's the thing that's different about TradeBot and the way that we're trying to build a community as opposed any other stock. Any other stock, you just purchase it and then you hope for the best. With TradeBot, you can actually purchase it and then work out the brand, and you can watch the brand grow and you can watch your money grow with it. And then the last risk is lack of developers. If we do go with the um,
the ultra
going with
hardcore.
small businesses, we will need a team of developers
Well, I got it.
that's committed. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
let me speak on all these.
Okay.
So we do have developers. I have a company, Crusader Games, which has been interning many junior developers, like 30 of them, and so you'll be able to cherry pick that. Um, the TradeBot coin lack of adoption within a certain period, I am not even worried about that because the math is on our side. Um, it, but you're right. People are they can panic, but my argument is if you are not confident in TradeBot, then you don't really understand the math. And I'm not talking to you, Davonta. I'm talking to like everybody in general. Like, if you understand the math, then you will be confident and you will know that dips are temporary. So, like, if I'll even give you an example, there was a one guy on the chart who sold at a loss at the end, and uh, it was one of the people that was reached by word of mouth. It wasn't like a random crypto guy. It was one of the people that was reached by word of mouth, and you can see that the panic got to them, and they
Yeah.
sold. And it breaks my heart because it's like, no, you don't understand. Like the math is behind us on this. So number two and number four, I think we're definitely good. And you're right on number three. If the community does not buy in, then so like with the math itself, uh, in 100 years, you'd be a millionaire in TradeBot. Like I would be able to, I could say that, right? But you're not, people are not gonna be around for 100 years, right? Or like, why would they want to wait 100 years? So that's where it's all about that acceleration of the
Yeah.
growth, and that's where the community has to buy in. And if they do that, then things should pan out for us. And launching unsuccessful events, oof. I'm glad you have a lot of experience with this because that right there is something that I think I would have trouble with. So yeah, that's very important. Okay. All right. So, I mean, is there anything else you would like to add, Devonta, before we open the floor for discussion on this?
Nope. That's all. That's all that I had.
All right, cool. So, does anybody have any questions or any points that they want to bring up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Laura, for those of you who haven't met me, I worked with Jerry at Crusader Games, and I actually had a question about the events. Are we thinking more digital events, or are we thinking more like physical type of events?
Physical events.
So like shows, like having like a little booth at something kind of thing?
Um, that, but more so of actually hosting it ourselves. So not just being a sponsor of someone else's event, because you don't really have control of like how fun that event will be and exactly what you're doing at that event. But just having a meetup where even if it's like 20 people and we're meeting up at a bar or meeting up somewhere and we have a theme of what we're doing there and just video recording that, things like that.
Can you give an
And then
example of some of the stuff that you've done in the past? Because I thought that was really funny what you told me about the whole cash grab thing.
yeah, like for instance, so I did both. So I had my own events, and I also was like a sponsor at other people's events. And so I would do things like to get people to sign up for my coding boot camp. I will have it to where whoever signed up um, during the event, they were able to participate in this money pit that I had, and it was just like an inflatable like pit that will blow money, and I had about $200 or $300 inside of the pit, but I also had maybe like $500 of fake money as well. And so when people will go in, right, they will go and think that they're going to get rich or they're going to get thousands of dollars, and they'll come out and 90% of the money that they grab is fake money, and they maybe will grab only like two or three real American dollars. And then they're like, "Oh man, you know." But for me, I'm able to keep the game going on for longer, throughout the whole night. And then even when it's over, maybe I will only have spent maybe $50, and I can keep the rest of my money for the next time. And so just little things like that. I would do like T-shirts. I have my own merch. I have my own screen printing. Well, I still have it my own screen printing machine
Yeah,
where I could just make my own T-shirts,
that is
make my
awesome
own
too.
like swag, stuff like that.
Well, it's because
Uh,
so like the t-shirts that we try to print cost like $20 cost through the
yeah,
Printify like platform, and you saying you can get something like $1 a shirt or something like that, right?
yep, yep.
That's
So
awesome.
like all in for me to make a T-shirt cost me about like $3
That is
for
awesome.
one T-shirt. Yeah, and so I was just trying to find ways to cut costs. Like uh, I have my own red velvet ropes, red carpet. Like I have a lot of like just different stuff like that
Oh, that's awesome.
and doing events. Yeah.
And so I really, Laura, do you have any more questions on that?
No, no, I was just curious.
I think it could be fun. Like this is the type of thing where people can just mix, and we bring the human element to it. Uh, I'm also intrigued by your small business mobile apps. I love how you
Yeah,
incorporated a fee in there to buy TradeBot, basically. That's crazy. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if you can get revenue from other businesses to pay for these apps, not only are you making TradeBot get better, but you're also hiring developers, which is very, very difficult right now.
yeah. So can yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
got a
for it.
lot of questions along that. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
go
is
for it.
DZ. So yeah, I found my ears really perked up on that.
Yeah.
I was really trying to understand, regardless of the percentages of it. I'm just trying to understand how that that crypto was going to really flow. So if you using the 2% example, is 100% going into the crypto? Is it 1% going to the marketing company to do more work, or exactly how is that trying to flow out? Because while you were talking, I went to your website and I was looking around to see if there was any verbiage of where you've done something similar to this proposal, and I really couldn't find anything out there on the website that maybe you could help point me to some of the detail of what you're thinking.
Yeah, no, this all of this, as far as this business model, is something that I created specifically for TradeBot. So this is not something that I um, model my personal business after. I was just trying to think of a way of how can I help TradeBot and how TradeBot can have more customers. So this would be something that we would totally have to, whoever is all in the development part of it, we will all have to get a piece of the pie, and then TradeBot also will have to get the piece of the pie.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
if you can either treat it like everybody gets a piece of the pie from that perspective, or I was just thinking you could even hire, like if you became an ISV, if Alteryx became an ISV and just hired developers for like, cheap, I guess, 40K, I guess, 50K. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you to figure out. But if you can create a business of just being able to retrieve these customers and still pay out developers, I think that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. So now the mobile app. Are we also talking about point of sale system, or I was trying to understand the just how big that mobile app project would be.
So mainly with small companies, they all pretty much want the same thing. So they want something with to do with scheduling, something to do with like you said, point of sale. So something with a payment gateway on there where they can check out. They want like persistent data, so or like persistent sessions. So if they log in and they go away from the app and they come back, their data is still there. Um, and that's pretty much mainly it. Sometimes they may want some type of community where people can, direct message others who are also a part of the app. But the thing about it is that once we build out the first one or two apps,
Yeah,
everything is going to be the same. The only
yeah.
thing that's going to change is the look and feel of it. But the APIs, whatever APIs we build, we can continue to call those same APIs. We segregate the data, and after we build the first couple, the rest is we're just
Maintenance.
reselling. Yeah, we're just selling reusable trash bags at that point. Like it'll be pretty easy for us.
Trash bags? I wouldn't call them trash bags though.
Money bags.
Money bags
Yeah,
is better.
money back. Yeah. So, talking about point of sale, you're also thinking along the lines of those that wanted to pay in crypto that would have that kind of capability too, or basically everything's on the table is what we're saying, or what?
No, I'm thinking that we shouldn't overcomplicate it because if you if you have their app where they're able to check out with crypto and things like that, now you're having to worry about what if they don't have a wallet?
Yeah,
Now we have to automate that process, and now we have to get explicit consent and all of this stuff. And now we're kind of teetering the lines of like, okay, is this a meme coin or is this actually like a commodity? Like, we don't want to get into that. We just want to have an agreement with the business owners, like, hey, this is the fee, and on the back end, we're going to create you an account, or we'll create them account in
yeah.
the initial process of us creating the app, and then every time that transaction happens from your app, it's going to 2% is going to go towards something else.
Which would be the trade bot buying. I would maybe we could say buying and burning trade bot, right? So if this
Yeah.
thing was able to do that, and the company itself held the trade bot, that's just another perk for them because the trade bot value should be going up at that point.
Yeah, and then we'll also have to have some type of fail safes. And the 2% that's just an idea, because we also have to think of things like this. This is what customers will try to do. They'll get the app and they'll say, okay, I have this app, but then they'll tell their customers, oh, don't check out on the app. Just pay me in cash or pay me on in person or something like that. So they'll utilize the app, but then they will avoid the
The fee.
checkout, so they won't be charged. So we will have to have some type of fail safe or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then also we will have to have a red button, so where if they're not paying, essentially with the way that I do mine is that I do it based on like a subscription base, so they have to pay me like monthly,
hmm,
and I have a red button. So if you miss a payment, there's no data on your app now. So you have an app, but when someone goes to the app, there's no data there, because the data is coming from an API, and I
right.
can just kill the switch. So
That's
you
cool.
got to have things like that in place, so that the
So,
business owners don't get over on you.
so, so would you rather do a subscription-based model with this? Would you rather do it transaction? I mean, I bet you. I mean, so if you do it with if you do it transaction-based, that's going to actually generate more money for the
Yeah,
purchase of
exactly.
TradeBot, right? Okay, cool. So you
Yeah.
just got to figure out. You have. So what if you did both, the subscription model and a portion of it goes to TradeBot?
It would have to be like a simulation to kind of see, like, all right, give an example of how many sales that they would do per week, plus multiply that by that 2% plus whatever the subscription fee would be per month, and then see how much they will be charged.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, kind of switching gears slightly. I see your site's really big in managed IT services. So, would you have some type of a managed marketing strategy for a TradeBot? Meaning, the whether it's an app or whatever, that you're going to have the way to track campaigns and all the different nuances that go with the whole marketing aspect. Are you looking at being able to provide that type of a managed service?
That's not anything that I thought about. For now, I think that it's better to just start small. Because I've done things like this before, but when it comes to social media and actually growing an online presence, you got to keep it simple and do the easy things great, because it's very easy to like want to get caught up and do like the complex things, and then you miss out on the small things that matter when it comes to people following your page. Do you have a good bio? Do you have a good like user profile photo? Like the very small things that may seem like it doesn't matter, it actually matters a lot when it comes to social media. So in the beginning stages, we have to just really, really focus on the very small things in order to grow the page out.
Okay, so you got some sort of a punch list that talks to that level of detail. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to wrap my head, because I like everything that I'm hearing. Just trying to wrap my head around just how how big, how quick, you know,
That's the thing with
whatever
social
this.
media. Yeah, with social media, it's not really, you can't really tell, because you can go viral. You could like, I have a friend that now he's up to like 20, 30,000 followers within 12 months. So, and I have another friend, he has like 150,000 followers in like 2 years. And so it all really just depends. I can't really say, because you can just have one post that goes viral and now you have 10,000 followers within a day. So things can catch like a wildfire like that. So
Yeah, and
I can't really say how quick, but I can say that we can have continual growth.
the thing is we're not dependent on Davonta. Davonta is just one arm of all of this. I mean, we're still going to do airdrops, so we'll be able to get followers that way on our Twitter account.
Okay.
We there's all. I mean, we still have to talk to Mog to figure out what his strategy would be. So like, there is all sorts of we're gonna be attacking this from multiple angles. Basically, we're not gonna have
Okay.
all of our eggs in one basket.
Okay, so these are not binary decisions. Everything's on the table. We'll be
Yeah,
able to switch and move around.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yep. Yep. All right. So
Um,
I'm going to be asking. I'm going to be asking the same thing to Mog about long-term strategies. So I still like to see what the overarching, understanding without getting into the details, but just what does this whole marketing strategy look like?
right, right. And I think Devontae's approach is going to be more. It's going to be more people oriented,
Yes.
on the boots on the ground type of thing. And I mean, I like it. I think it's cool. And then if you can get Alteric to launch as an ISV, I mean, I got people, Devontae, that are like legit. We went through our own enablement, so that would be an opportunity for them. That would be an amazing opportunity for them. And yeah, that's just spreading the blessings to other people, which I mean, you can't go wrong with that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited. This is got lots of opportunity.
Heck yeah. Cool. So Devontae, how fast can you do this?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is crazy. Let's go.
How fast can we do which part?
The
I mean,
ISV
because there's
part,
a lot of
like the
moving
small
parts.
business. Yeah, it's gonna take some time to put together like a business plan and all this stuff, right? But what do you have a roadmap for this, or are you just like throw?
I
Is this
think
like a
I think
feeler, or what?
well, it really just depends on so when it comes down to getting okay, that's another part. Now I can go into details on how do you gain customers.
Yeah.
So the way that I typically go and gain customers, and this will probably take, I'll say about 2 or 3 months, because the way that you have to do it is you're going to have to go to a small business
Mm-hmm.
that probably know other small business owners, and then you say that, hey, I'm going to create you an app 100% for free, right? So you give something away, and in return, they're going to talk to their friends or their other colleagues about you, and then when their referral comes in, now you charge them a set price, and then you got to kind of spread out, or like if you want to do like target area like Plano, Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth, like you got to give something away for free in that area
Mm-hmm.
so that you can grow that area. And so the first thing will be building up a team, understanding who will be on a team and who will be willing to do the development.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, um, then we will need another group that's saying, okay, let's plan our first event. We're going to find some bar that allow us to be there for 2 hours for free, and we're going to show up there, and everyone is going to have this theme or whatever we're going to do, and we're going to have a camera and just record, and then that part will be being worked on. Then another part will be worked on, and someone will be on the social media side and saying, okay, we need to post um every single day for the next 30 days. And before we even post, we want to get 30 days worth of material. So we want to make sure that we take cool photos of us hanging out, or us in costumes, or us in events, or us doing this. Or maybe we want to make a small animated cartoon of TradeBot, find some type of software where we can make like our own animation skits, just different things like that. So you got to have all different parts moving at the same time,
Well,
synchronous.
so I mean, you said the only way to get these people was by offering free software. I mean, how is it? How are you going to pay for salaries, or how are you going to pay for developers on this, or are you asking the developers to do as
Yeah.
yeah, go for
So I mean, I pretty much have like some software already built up. Like it doesn't have to be something super complex, because, like I said, most of the things that companies want is something like an e-commerce type of mobile app.
it. Okay,
And so, the reason why I offer even the mobile outside of things for businesses, because this is something, at least what I can do, where I can contribute to the TradeBot community, and the only thing that it costs me is my time. I don't have
gotcha,
to spend money on it.
gotcha. And then, so how would you get more developers incorporated?
I think more developers will need to be based on the demand. We shouldn't hire people
Gotcha.
if we don't have the work.
Yes. Okay.
So
Cool.
once we have enough work, then we scale up out from there.
This is
Did you say you
great,
had an
man.
app already? Did you have an app already, like at the Play Store or anything like that, that you have an example of or something?
I do have an app that I'm actually working on right now for a colleague of mine. Nothing that I can display like at this very moment. Maybe like in
Oh,
the
okay.
next week or so, maybe. Um, but yeah, so I do everything with Angular and Ionic and Java. I'm not sure if you
Nice.
know.
Ionic.
Yeah, yeah. So that way you don't have to learn like a native
Right.
language.
Right.
It
Right.
will go for iOS and Android as well.
The guys that I have are all Vue, but I'm sure that they can pick up on Angular.
And the cool thing about with Ionic, Ionic supports Vue as well.
Oh,
It, it supports Vue, React, Angular.
cool. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome. I thought it was only Angular. Cool. Cool. Does anybody have any other questions or they want topics that they want to discuss? Okay. Um, how about me? Does anybody have any questions for me?
When's the next burn?
I have to get. I didn't get around to this morning. It's going to be after this meeting. So yes, I'll get on it. Burn,
Awesome
baby,
thing.
burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
All right. So I guess we'll formally end this. If you guys want to hang out afterwards, you can, and I can. You can ask me any questions. But you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, and I will be staying on for a little bit if you do have any questions.
I don't have a whole bunch of questions necessarily. Like I said, I'm still kind of looking into the social media marketing piece of all of this.
Yeah.
And that's largely just out of personal interest because, I mean, obviously, we want this to grow.
Yes.
Um, but it's also, a world that I've been interested in for a long time. Um, but it's really interesting because Davonta had really similar ideas to like literally the book that I'm reading. Like, I don't know if he read the same book or if he markets the same or what it is. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shoot, like he's talking the same thing I just read.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make an attempt at making some short form content and I'll share it with you before I post it anywhere.
No, no, just post it.
Okay,
Like
just post it,
this
just
is a
talking.
community thing.
Okay.
Like I'm not a
All right.
central
I don't
authority or
want to like
anything. Yeah, just go
I
for
just
it.
don't want to like step on toes here or nothing and like I don't want to like be out here doing things I oughtn't be doing and get us in trouble.
No, you're good. You're
Um,
good.
But no, I've got a whole list of like social media content ideas that are specifically TradeBot related.
Let's go.
And then I was thinking like I, I and I know he said we have to have a lot of followers or whatever, but I was thinking about making a new account and then posting like a few trends and seeing, if we can jump on those trends a little bit. And then kind of starting to go into like an occasional video that involves TradeBot, but not anything specific.
That is the best solution, I think,
Okay.
because it comes
Yeah.
from it's people oriented basically.
All
Because
right.
we
Well, and
already
I
have.
can like
Oh, sorry. Go.
I was gonna say I can run through like some of the ideas that I have right now. Like he was talking about
Yeah.
like motivational, and all
Cool.
I could think about was like, what you told me early on, where you're like, "Hey, fortune favors the bold," and I'm like, "Dude, I could make a whole video series about fortune favors the bold."
Yes.
Like that's easy, and like it's easy content. People like seeing that stuff,
That's awesome. That would be great.
And anyway, and then a whole bunch of like more in depth stuff, like how why is it okay if the market goes down for TradeBot? Like I think that's a really good thing to make a video.
Good.
All right, well,
It's all.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Go
gonna
for it.
get working on it then.
Yeah, it's all organic, right? Like if we can just keep this as organic as possible and as spontaneous as possible, I think we're good. I think that's the right direction. Uh,
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
liked what he said
So
about organic growth.
if you put some, a video two together, I'd be very interested to have a template of that so the theme would stay consistent. Because I know I've got some content that I would like to put together, but I am no stretch of the imagination a visual artist person. I'm more of just PowerPoint presentation,
You know,
present the information, and that
the
I'm done.
super cool thing about that is like if you're walking somewhere pretty and you're videoing where you're walking and you're just talking to people, people like that for some reason.
Yes.
Like, you don't even have to do anything, dude. Like, one of the most popular videos on TikTok ever was a guy named Dogface from Twin Falls, Idaho, and you probably saw it, where he videoed himself on his longboard drinking his ocean spray and, like, playing some song in the background. And, like, that dude went from being a dude that worked on a potato farm. I'm not even joking. I'm from Idaho. He went from being a dude that worked on a potato farm. He has, like, 7 million followers now and produced songs with Snoop Dogg.
Oh my goodness.
All because he videoed himself longboarding down the road with a thing of ocean spray cranberry juice. And ocean spray
Yeah.
saw huge sales from that too.
That's
Like, it's just
hilarious.
viral stuff is weird. And,
Yeah,
like, it's like bottling lightning trying to catch.
exactly.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I can tell
hilarious.
you
I'm
right.
reading
I
a
can tell
book
you
about
right
that.
now. There's going to be no video of
Mhm.
me. That's never going to happen.
You're not gonna longboard listening to music and drinking ocean spray cranberry juice? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Me
No.
neither. It's okay.
What were
Yeah.
you saying, Andrew?
But, I think
Oh,
also,
I was
yeah, go
gonna,
ahead,
oh,
Andrew.
sorry. I got this book called Day Trading Attention to help out with like the social media
That's the
stuff.
book I'm reading right now.
Oh, so that's where you got it
That's
from, because
literally the book I'm reading.
yeah, I'm reading that too. The introduction, you mentioned that guy. Oh, okay, okay, that's where it is. Never mind. I was
day
like, that's like a
trading
weird
attention.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a super cool book. It's written by Gary Vee. I think I told you about him,
Yeah,
Jerry. He was
yeah,
the, like, just because somebody else did it doesn't mean you can't too guy.
yeah, exactly.
And, just don't be offended by swearing. There's a good amount of swearing in the book.
Oh, that's cool. Day trading attention. Why do they call it day trading attention? I don't get that. It sounds like a day trader book.
Yeah, with like social media
The
stuff,
the
right?
whole the whole point of it the whole point of it is, you know, looking at your analytics of your social media that you're posting and trying to reach your specific audience. So, like, Davonta had a lot of really big, broad audiences, but it talks a lot about, really dialing into, like, your little micro audiences. So, like, let's say you're looking for crypto bros in Dallas. Like, you can literally tailor a video that goes in their direction based off of your previous analytics. You're like, "Okay, so I made this video about my meme coin, and it did really well in, whatever city, and it did really well with young men 18 to 22." And so you can go, "Okay, well, that did really well in this city with young men 18 to 22 because it's a tech hub or it's whatever, it's all these other things." And then you can actually promote that video to other tech hubs to that market.
Nice.
And it's more about micro markets and not so much about, like, trying to appeal to everybody,
Gotcha.
See
and
now,
then using that information.
I like that. See that has legs on it. I like.
Yes.
I was gonna say, if we wanna do this small business application for free and then we pay a fee on every transaction, so, like, I've got a buddy that does, like, bike rentals, like, he rents e-bikes, and, so does it matter, you think, specifically, like, what type of business? Like, are we thinking, like, restaurant only, or, like, is it something
Mm,
that I could approach with him?
I think so. Let me see if I can get Devontae back on here.
Okay.
Uh, this is
'Cause he actually asked me to make an app for him, like, months ago, and I honestly was just kind of like,
too
I mean,
scared.
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, I
yeah.
was afraid.
I know how that is.
I was afraid.
Yeah, it is very intimidating to just say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go create a website for you." Like, woo.
Right, well, I helped him make a WordPress website, and, like, that's fine, and it works really
Yeah.
good,
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
but he wants an app where, people can just, say, "I wanna rent a bike," and it can show, his available inventory, basically,
You can
and
totally do that.
it was just wildly and this was before Crusader Games, like, if he
Right.
approached me about it today, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, I got this," but, like,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
So, hey, Devontae's back. Can you hear us, Devontae?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Cool. We had a question for you. Laura, go
Yeah.
ahead and ask.
So I have a friend that he has a e-bike business, and what he does is he rents e-bikes to, like, ride on our bike paths and our trails here. Is that the type of business that we could approach for, like, building an application, like, if they pay through the app?
For
Or are
the
you
e-bike,
thinking more? Yeah. Well, are you thinking more like, restaurants, bars, that kind of thing?
I mean, anyone that needs a digital transformation, like I don't think
Like
it
anywhere
it's really,
anywhere there's a transaction would be okay.
yeah, anywhere where there's a transaction. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then for June 1st, there are going to be some things I'll do too. So if you go to Deck Screener, for June 1st, we'll also add in, well, I did not want to pay money for this, but I think it's time we pay the money for it. You can pay to get your token information updated. I think this is super important. And I'll do that on June 1st. And then Bird ISO is another site that I've heard is very popular. We'll go to Bird ISO and we'll do the exact same thing. So this one will cost like $200 to do it. But once we do it for both of them, people will then be able to access the site. They'll be able to then we're gonna open the doors even more to the public so that they can come in and check us out. And then at this point, we really don't even need CoinGecko at that point because these guys get their feeds from CoinGecko. Once we modify our information, we pretty much don't need them from. We don't need CoinGecko at that point anymore. CoinGecko is just adding more credibility to us, but that will come with time when we get the type of traffic that they're looking for.
See, that makes sense. So now we've I understand that.
Cool.
Okay.
I got a question actually.
Yeah.
For the website, could you put like I don't know, a link for people to click on to get the because if they create the Phantom account and they have their salon address, and when you send them TradeBot, that trader would appear on their Phantom, like right off the
Yeah.
bat, so they don't have to search for it.
Yeah. Automatically will come up. It'll appear.
Because that'd be one less step you have to worry about of having to search for TradeBot themselves. They just as long as you send it to them
Oh
automatically,
no.
then boom.
So yeah, all you got to do is post the link, and they'll have TradeBot in their account automatically, because I'll send it to them.
Right. Okay. So do you think you can have something on the website so people just paste in their let's say
No.
they're walking through these
No.
steps and then
No. Their bots will come in.
oh yeah, fair. Yeah, that's
There will
true.
be.
You're right.
There are guys. They're called airdrop farmers.
Yeah, you're right.
And what they do is they will go out, create multiple Solana accounts. They'll create multiple Telegram accounts, multiple Twitter accounts, and that's their job. Is whenever there's an airdrop, they'll post as like 10 different people,
Yeah.
take the coin, and then sell it. All right, guys. Well, this is great. Thank you all very much. And again, I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a great weekend.
Hey, you too.
All right.
Thanks for
Cheers.
everything, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. See ya.
Thanks, guys.